We started with nothing. Mom and Dad were in the real estate business, and so I know your background, of course. Your parents weren't, but you got into it at 18. I got my license when I turned 3 weeks after I turned 18, and still got my license, and 1,000 years later. And so I went and got my degree in real estate, came out. Sharon and I got married at 22 years old in 1982, and went through a couple jobs, and then I quickly started buying real estate. Nothing down in those days. It was a big deal. Before there was, before Chip and Joanna were born, and so it's a long time ago. And I got rich. I had $1 million net worth, made about 200. I think I made $250,000 at 24 years old, and that's 1984. So that's like
Maybe
making
600,
500,000 now. So it was. For a kid from Antioch, Tennessee, I mean, where I came from, that's called rich. And so everything was going great, but I did a lot of 90-day notes because I was doing flips, a lot of short-term notes. And our bank, got the largest bank, I had $1.2 million out with them, got sold to another bank and outside of the state of Tennessee. And some guy looks down in another city and said, hey, there's a 24-year-old kid owes us $1 million. This is scary. Let's limit this relationship, which is banker talk for ruin his life. And they called our notes. Another banker got word we were in trouble, called another $800,000. So we had $2 million we had to come up with in 120 days, and it's all in real estate. You can't get out of it that fast. So it started a crash that I couldn't recover from, and we spent the next 2.5 years losing everything we owned, being sued and foreclosed on, and finally, with a brand new baby and a toddler and our marriage hanging on by a thread, we filed bankruptcy in September of '88, and it was not a good ride, but we were new in our Christian faith, baby Christians, and I started studying what the Bible says about money, which was just common sense. Get out of debt, stay out of debt, live on less than you make, live on a budget, have a plan. And I started doing that stuff, and that evolved into people asking me, okay, how are you recovering from your bankruptcy? It seems like you're doing okay. And I'm like, well, we're doing okay. It wasn't fast, but we finally sat down with some friends and helped them do a budget because they were in trouble. And then the pastor called from the church and said, hey, this guy's in foreclosure. Can you help him? I went, yeah, I used to buy foreclosures, and then I was one. So, yeah, I can probably help him. So we sat down, did a workout plan, a forbearance plan with that mortgage company for him. And I started doing forbearance plans for people that were behind on their mortgage, started helping people that were struggling. So they didn't have to file bankruptcy. They thought they would have to go into Chapter 13 or to save their house. And then that evolved, and started teaching a little Sunday school class, and there was about 4 people in there, and looked up, and there were 300 people in there. And there was such a need. People were, they gravitated to my story of stupidity, my PhD in DUMB, and they were hurting too, and it gave them an authentic place to get help by somebody who actually knew the pain and knew the stress. And from there, I went on a broke radio station that was in Chapter 11 bankruptcy. A lot of bankruptcy in the story. Yeah. But they let us work for free, which is exactly what we were worth. We were horrible. Daryl and his other brother Daryl on doing talk radio. It was nasty. And we were able to sell a little bit of that first book I wrote out of the trunk of my car, and started doing some events with an overhead projector and a bad suit. And, fast forward all of that to this massive thing. Starting all that stuff was about 30 years ago. Starting the radio show was 30 years this year.
How were you able to turn that into a business, though? Because it seems like at the beginning you were giving free advice, just helping other people out from the church. How did that evolve into making money from it, or being able to grow that and hire so many people?
Well, the first thing I did was I thought, okay, I can do counseling. We now call it coaching, but counseling's got legal implications in the word. But the coaching people in their finances, and so I would charge $250 or $750 to help somebody and just meet in a conference room and sit down and help them do that. Outside of church, word got out. A guy at a local restaurant heard I was helping people, and he sent one of his employees over who had an IRS lien and the IRS is getting ready to tag his house, and so we were able to get an OIC working on that. And so I just started coaching people, helping them with their budgets and avoiding a foreclosure, a repo, or whatever, all stress stuff, all hurting stuff. And then I went on this little radio show, And we weren't making any money on it. We didn't make money. The radio show wasn't profitable for 10 years. But it was, I mean, we didn't make $258,000. I can promise you that. But there were a lot of people listening, and it became a megaphone, a way to get to acquire customers. So they would come in and do coaching, and we could sell books, and then we started doing events that we charged for, and then we opened up a thing called Life After Debt, which was a 26-week course on money to get out of debt. It evolved into what's now known as Financial Peace University, which is now 9 weeks, mercifully. That grew. The events grew, the publishing grew, the speaking grew, and finally the radio show became profitable. We were able to actually sell some ads in our talk radio slots, other than just trying to promote our own stuff, which was kind of infomercial-ish, really. But in every case, we just figured out a different medium or media to help people. And then was there a way to monetize that too, where we could help people make a little money? And, if you sell a $10 book and you make $8 on it or whatever, that's good. But if you sell a million of them, it's better.
Yeah. And in that beginning phase, when you were just getting started, did you guys do any marketing to try to grow these different businesses that you were in? Or was it mostly just word of mouth and people telling their friends and their family, hey, you should listen to this guy. He's got some great financial advice, right?
Entertainment.
Yeah, entertainment.
It was mainly word of mouth, but we had this wonderful microphone of this radio station, and the little radio station ended up getting bought out of bankruptcy. And by then we had marshaled a following. We didn't even know we had ratings because they never told us to say the call letters. We were in bankruptcy. It was like a Saturday Night Live skit. I mean, it was bad. And so then this professional radio people come in and start teaching us that you say the call letters. You're kind of illegal if you don't say them once an hour, And so we started using them in and out of every call, and so the radio show ended up building the critical mass from a marketing perspective. We didn't have any money to do marketing. We were just surviving, making payroll on Friday. And so the first guy I hired was another financial coach because I was maxed out logistically. Then I hired a lady to help us in the office, and then Financial Peace University started taking off. We put it on video and quit teaching it live. And boy, that went to scale quick. It's now been taught. About 10 million people have been through it in 50,000 churches. But that, when we put it on video, that enabled on VHS, later DVD. Now, obviously digitally delivered. Yeah, it was when we changed the mechanisms of the delivery, we started seeing scale kick out on the different things. And then we started getting more radio stations to add, started syndicating the show, meaning we would try to get other cities on to carry us and so forth. And, I remember when we got to 10 radio stations, I thought, oh my God, I'm in 10 cities. Wow, am I a big deal or what? And now it's 670 or something like that.
If you've ever been denied a car loan, credit card, or even an apartment because of what's on your credit report, you are not alone. Most people don't even know what's hurting their credit score, let alone how to fix it. That is exactly where our sponsor Dispute Beast comes in. It's an AI-powered platform that helps you find and remove outdated or inaccurate items from your credit report fast.
We're talking things like late payments, old accounts and collections, or even accounts that don't belong to you. Not to mention, how it works is super easy. You connect your credit report, and Dispute Beast scans it for negative marks that could be dragging down your score. Then it generates custom dispute letters, tailored for your situation, no templates and no guesswork.
You could choose to just download the data and send it to the agencies yourself, or you can use their built-in mail service where they will literally handle everything for you.
It's honestly just really clean and simple to use, and it's built by experts.
So if you're ready to take back control of your credit, go to disputebeast.com/ICH today. There's also a link down below in the description, disputebeast.com/ICH. Guys, they will literally handle everything for you. If you're dissatisfied with your credit, they will do all of the research, let you know what's going wrong, and they will fight for you. disputebeast.com/ICH. Thank you so much to Dispute Beast for sponsoring this clip.